Whoever told Lindsay Lohan it was a good idea to make a horror film should be fired. It's me, mostly Carl. In 2019, we were going through some major changes, and so was Lindsay Lohan. Before her huge successes of Falling for Christmas, Our Little Secret, and obviously The Irish Wish, Lindsay Lohan was going to try her hand at a horror movie. It's not a horror movie, it's an Underworld knockoff. Let's not pretend it's anything else. I don't know why. I don't think Underworld was particularly popular at this point. I think it already ran its course, but Lindsay's got to do right. This movie is very weird. Among the Shadows was a 2019 movie, if you can call it that. It's more of a collection of scenes put together with some questionable green screen. We open up 2019, Brexit. We fast forward a little bit to Frexit. Everybody knows what Frexit is, I'm sure. And we move a little bit forward by a handful of months when the entire European Union falls apart because the two countries fell out of it. There will be a lot of me talking about Brexit. I'm so sorry. After that, we have a big fast forward to 2022. The film that the year is set but not made. It was made in 2019. We're thrown straight into it. We have the obvious thing, silver bullets.
Well, silver bullet make big holes.
What is meant to be, I think, a werewolf fight. We're not really, it's not 100% werewolves. They're not like, we don't have like giant cool suits or anything like that. They're just teeth and the glowing eyes. And the only confirmation that we do have that they are werewolves is the silver bullet line, this one single line. This is also when we're told that the European Union has folded. There is now one Prime Minister of Europe. I don't know how that works. Europe's a big country. I presume this was written by an American. Which also, it doesn't seem that important throughout the entire movie. It just seems very anti-EU. We're introduced to our main character. You think Lindsay Lohan's the main character. In her mind, she is, probably. But we're actually introduced to the main character of this Kate Beckinsale kind of knockoff. She is the niece of the man that we just saw who got shot with the silver bullet.
Uncle Harry, how are you?
I've been shot.
His name was Harry. Charlotte Beckett plays Christy Wolf, PI, who is hired by Lindsay Lohan in a bit. But we first go to the scene of the crime where Kate Beckinsale's knockoff's uncle has sadly died. This is where we also meet the other main character, but he's not as main either. He's more like another Lindsay Lohan. He's barely in the goddamn movie. This is the Alan Wake knockoff. That's the best way I can describe him. This is Lieutenant McGregor. He's played by Gianni Capaldi. I double checked. No relation to the other Capaldi, the famous Capaldis. Just a different Capaldi. This Capaldi's been predominantly in a lot of one-star movies. I checked his IMDb. As I try to do with these films, I have a little look through all the films. One-star reviews. It's not looking good for him. We do get a little bit of the background of Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan is the first lady of a werewolf president of Europe. She's also a vampire.
I mean vampire.
And the werewolf prime minister or president is getting threatened, or maybe threatened. She presumes he's next. The Harry, I think his name is Harry, the werewolf that got shot with a silver bullet, he was the right-hand man to the president. And obviously, logically, from vampire Lindsay Lohan, he's next. What I've noticed during this entire film so far, though, is Lindsay Lohan was never on set. She has been on green screen, and there is a body double throughout the entire thing. Once you notice it, there's like always a bit of a halo around her, and the lighting just seems a little bit off. There's scenes where she is on a set, but it's a car, and they filmed it like it's a limo, so they filmed it like this. It's very noticeable once you've spotted it. Once you've spotted it, you get done for. You're like, is that, you're squinting, you're like, is this a green screen this time? Is this a green screen? There's so much green screen. It's so agitating, the amount of green screen in this goddamn movie. Everybody else seems to be on sets. So I presume they shot twos. They shot her bit on a green screen, and then they shot the other actor, and then a flat panel so Lindsay Lohan can be compositioned in later on. They do a good job. They try. They do a really good job of like seeing the lights right and stuff like that. But it's very, once you've spotted it a handful of times, like you're really getting in there. You're like, is this time, is it green screen? Is it not green screen? We follow the detective woman, Wolf, around, Christy Wolf. It's going to be confusing. She's also a wolf, but her name's Wolf. It's stupid. We get some flashbacks from her, but we sort of follow her around. She goes to the bar's great. I love the bartender in the bar. Is the only character I remember. There's something about him. He reminds me of like an older Alan Wake for some reason, or when they need an older out of work Russian character. That's who he is. He plays that character. They're in a werewolf bar essentially, and they do it with such sincerity. but they just use what would you be like classed as like werewolf terms,
I believe the exact term was spay.
like a dog. When they find out Harry's passed away, they howl. All of the bar howl. They also use like bitch a lot, but in the scientific sense that a woman is a bitch. That's somebody can edit that out and really cancel me if they want. Don't do that. I swear to God. I'm talking about werewolves. As we follow the werewolf woman, Christy, she sort of starts to pick people up. No reason. She just attacks people in the streets. I presume it's like the action thing. There's very little action going on throughout the entire movie. So I feel like they did reshoots to where they've just gotten a walk through an abandoned building and pretended attacked people. They have these glowing white eyes. That's the most werewolfy thing, and the teeth. That's the most werewolfy bit they have, which sort of does out throughout the movie. Like, budget's running out, so they do it less and less as well. I watched this on Plex. Please sponsor me, Plex. I would love to be sponsored by you. I go on there quite often to look at what films are free to watch, because on Plex you can watch films for free. There is ads. I was watching it. There was an ad. Normal, pretty standard stuff. And then all of a sudden I come back and there's just full frontal nudity. I don't know where it came from. The plot didn't require it. There's a guy that's suspicious of. He wants to get rid of the green bill. And he's just shacking up with some full-on naked woman. And it's weird. It just completely comes out of left field. After that scene, even though we already know who the killer is, they want to bury the lead a little bit. So everybody's looking for the killer. Lindsay Lohan's hired the werewolf PI. Lindsay Lohan herself is still looking. Admittedly, I'm pretty sure it's just because they shot a bunch of stuff in the car that they realised they could use if they just keep including Lindsay Lohan. Then they bump into each other. The werewolf PI drags a guy out. Lindsay Lohan has obviously just been told to react. So that's all she does. Now we're about halfway through the movie. Admittedly, it doesn't feel like it just seems like I'm just describing scenes to you. I'm not really describing plot. There isn't one. The PI just sort of goes from place to place, asking questions, not getting answers, and then working out the answers over voiceover, with just some like stock shots. But about halfway through the film, we get, I think, our biggest lead in the case, which is a vampire who runs a bar, a big bar, maybe a vampire bar. I don't know if it's maybe werewolves have got a dirty slum bar and vampires go to a very nice party, but he's running a nice party place. The werewolf PI is going to work with them. This is also where I forgot to mention vampires are psychic. In this universe, vampires are psychic. He's like the love interest, I think. He's barely a love interest. He's barely in it. But there's this sort of TikTok love story. Have you seen that TikTok? People have talked about, YouTube commentators have talked about it before, where it's like TikTok-esque app. And one of the ones is about a werewolf who's also a teacher. There's a shower scene. I think the shower scene is the one that's quite famous, where the script is obviously like AI because he just keeps asking the same question over and over again. Or they had to fill time and they just did lots of different takes without a script, like I do. But there's that clip. That's what this feels like. This section with the vampire feels like that. Them short video. There's some other stuff. Really unimportant. They're just scenes and shots that are so unimportant. I want my sexy vampire man back, and he's back. They meet in a cooling tower of a nuclear power plant because that's the only places humans can't be.
The kind of place no one bothers you.
It's the way he says that, though.
Too toxic.
It's too toxic. The way he says it's too toxic. The way he says it is so radioactive. Humans can't be here because it's too toxic. To get some more information, some more leads, they're not great leads. There's no clues. I can't think that this feels like lots of different scenes that they like shot together and just cut together, because there's this scene where Lindsay Lohan is in a crematorium. She's a vampire. She's just walking around a crematorium during the day. She's wearing sunglasses, so that's the proof she's a vampire. She's going to say somebody who's dead, Harry, I think, or Henry, or whatever his name is. Harry, the guy that died at the beginning. She's going to go see him. They were friends, apparently. This time I think they're on the same location. ADR's bad. The mix is terrible.
Don't strike me as a sympathetic type.
The background noise are way too loud. They have a full conversation in the mausoleum, and at the very end, the Christy Wolf says,
I'm on it.
I'm on it. And it's that's a different voice actress. Sharon the tea lady, can you pop in? Who's obviously like 45. Hi there, I'm on it. Apparently, basically, Lindsay Lohan has been asked to not do any more poking and prodding. We have to be reminded that she's also a werewolf, because to be honest with you, it's not that important that there's werewolves in this. We have to be reminded, so they have like fight in the Oregon, and she does the werewolf. Her eyes glow and her teeth come out. They glow less. Every time we see her, they glow less and less. We cut back to Lindsay Lohan. We need a certain percentage of Lindsay Lohan. I don't know if she had like a contractual amount of the film that she had to be in, but she had to go back to Lindsay Lohan now, where we're getting more politics. This time Lindsay Lohan is not only on green screen, she's on a computer screen, so we're doubling up. We're gonna make this look as fake as possible now. It's around about this time they just give up on the effects. There's a massive werewolf fight in a back alley. No glowing eyes. Can't be bothered with it. They're moving too fast. We're not going to bother adding the glowing eyes. Don't worry about it. Don't bother with it. Don't bother with the glowing eyes. The Alan Wake character, I thought had died. Ellen McGregor. I had to look at his name. McGregor. Thought he died. But he just dropped his name. Just to remind you that he's alive, they just dropped his name in it. Because they're going to meet in a building where we also find out somebody had been car bombed. Somebody's car had been blown up. We don't see this. We also get told, again, don't say it, we just get told that that the President, Prime Minister, Werewolf Man has found a bomb on the bottom of his car. So he nearly got off-screen bombed. There's a little fight at the top of the building with the Werewolf Man and somebody else. So there's just like random, there's a lot of bodies that don't have names. Christy Wolf throws a machete. We don't see the machete hit anybody. We just sort of throw it. She throws it very limply as well. We get our first explosion. They're at the top of a building. We get the first explosion when they work out there's a bomb. So they jump out of a window. It's all stock footage. So it's just horrible stock footage. And the only real thing that we get is the effect that there is a bomb. There's like a flashing orange light. You see that? My laptop was in there. The Alan Wake character, who was not a werewolf, finds out werewolves exist and goes to the bar where he has a couple of brewskis. They're like little shots. And they've put it all together. Somebody is going to pop the werewolf tonight. They only work it out because he's going to... The werewolf prime minister is going to a party. And the bad guy had it also circled on his calendar. Doesn't mean he's going to the party. He hasn't been invited. I don't know why. So, Werewolf and Alan Wake have to drive as fast as physically possible.
I've given up. I've given up because we're not going to make it.
We're gonna make it, trust me.
We know they're driving fast because there is F1 sound effects.
Come on. We're going to go faster than this.
Do you want to just shut up? You're not helping.
And this sort of effect, like driving fast like this. They work out there's a sniper on the roof. Where else would snipers be? Obviously. They find him. The Alan Wake character finds him. And then as he's fighting, the sniper gets shot. I thought Alan Wake had shot the sniper. He hadn't. The sniper was just shot by another sniper. They sort of roll between the rooftops, try to find it. Werewolves jump out of crates. They find the other sniper and they dispatch him. But it's too late. President Werewolf Man has been killed. But the budget is out and there's lots of plot holes. So we need to quickly fill them. Best thing to do that is voiceover. We've got more voiceover, more green screen, Lindsay Lohan. Some of the shots, they don't even bother taking, like, just have, I'm sure what looks like I think it's an outtake.
The longer we wait, if we just don't go right after we hear it, then it's going to keep happening.
Of Lindsay Lohan. We find out all of it was probably orchestrated. So Lindsay Lohan, vampire woman, can become Prime Minister. House of Cards. I think that's how House of Cards ends. The woman becomes the Prime Minister. And that's the credits. That's the entire movie. The only thing I can really take away from it is that there's a fair bit of Lindsay Lohan just on green screen. It's predominantly Lindsay Lohan on green screen. I don't think she's on set, ever, in this movie. She's in a car. Nobody else is in that car with her. It's just shots of her. The amount the writer hates the European Union, insane. EU, hate them. I spit on them. He hates them. He references how much he hates the European Union so much. And the amount of words they made up. It's like when you watch like a zombie movie.
Term was spay.
And they have to think of other words than zombies because zombies don't exist in that universe. They've got like call them howlers and stuff like that. That's so much of that. This is officially the lowest rating movie on my letterbox. I give it half a star. You know how hard it is to get half a star? You know how hard it is? I love movies. You know how hard it is to get half a star on Letterboxd? I wouldn't even say watch it. Maybe watch it with some friends and every time it's on green screen, have a drink. Or every time they use a different word for a werewolf,
Term was spay.
have a drink. They don't come up with any words for vampire, by the way. They just call themselves vampires. It is possibly the worst movie I've ever seen. And I don't know if Lindsay Lohan's career got any better than this. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm on Twitch Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. British time, GMT, BST, whatever that might be. I hope you'll enjoy that. Follow and subscribe. Thanks very much. Goodbye. There's an explosion. They've done an explosion. Did you see?